11:47 p.m. Hamna is sitting in her room. Lights dim. Phone screen glowing on her face. The kind of exhaustion that doesn't feel physical anymore. It feels emotional. Today didn't go the way she planned. Emails she avoided. Work she postponed. Thoughts she kept delaying. And now it all comes back in silence. She opens an app. Just for a second. A small escape. A $35 item appears. It's nothing special. Not expensive. Not life-changing. But in this moment it feels necessary. Because it's not about the item. It's about the feeling. Psychologists call it doom spending. Buying things not because you need them, but because you're trying to escape a feeling. Hamna taps buy now. And for a few seconds her brain relaxes. Not happiness. Not excitement. Just relief. Like the day finally stopped pressing on her chest. But that relief is temporary. Because it never really solved anything. It just postponed the feeling. 6 months pass. The same habit repeats in smaller moments. Late nights. Stressful days. Silent afternoons. One tap at a time. One escape at a time. Until one day she checks her account. $1,200 credit card balance. No clear memory of where it all went. No single big purchase. Just fragments. Small emotional decisions she forgot the moment after making them. And that's when it hits her. It was never about buying things. It was about escaping feelings. Hamna doesn't realize it yet. But this is where two futures quietly begin to separate. Same income. Same life. Different patterns. In one version of her life, every stressful moment turns into spending. Not luxury spending. Just relief spending. Food delivery when she feels tired. Small online orders when she feels low. Quick purchases when she feels empty. It doesn't feel dangerous because it's always just a little. But little things stack. $10 here. $20 there. $35 at night. By the end of the month, it becomes $400. Sometimes $600. Not felt all at once, but felt in hindsight. And the worst part? Nothing improves. Stress comes back the next day. Just with less money to handle it. In another version of Hamna's life, the same emotions still exist. Stress, pressure, exhaustion. But the response changes slightly. There's still the urge to spend. Still the impulse. But now there's a pause. A gap between feeling and action. In that gap, everything changes. Because she starts noticing something. Most of her spending wasn't planned. It was emotional. So instead of reacting immediately, she begins delaying. Not perfectly. Not always. But enough. A 24-hour rule starts forming quietly in her habits. If she still wants it tomorrow, she can buy it. Most of the time she doesn't. Not because desire disappears. But because emotion cools down. She also starts doing something she never used to do. She removes saved cards from shopping apps. Feels small. Almost meaningless. But suddenly buying things requires effort again. That friction matters. Because impulse hates effort. And effort gives her time to think. A few weeks later she tries something else. She sets up a separate savings account. Not for goals. Not for motivation. Just separation. Money she doesn't see every day stops feeling like spending money. It starts feeling like future security. Even if it's just $50 at first. Then $100. Then automatic. No decision needed. No emotional debate. Just structure. And something subtle starts changing in Hamna. She doesn't become perfect. She still spins emotionally sometimes. But now she notices it. And noticing is the beginning of control. Because for the first time she realizes something uncomfortable. It was never about discipline. It was about environment. Her phone. Her apps. Her ease of access. Her habits. Everything was designed for instant reaction. Not reflection. Meanwhile, another version of Hamna still exists. The one who never changed anything. Same income growth over time. But lifestyle grows with it. A better phone. A slightly bigger rent. More subscriptions. More small upgrades. Nothing dramatic. But nothing ever slows down either. So even when income rises, savings never really appear. Because every raise gets absorbed before it becomes wealth. And then there's the version of Hamna who starts investing early. Not aggressively. Not perfectly, just consistently. $100 a month, then $200 when possible. Not because she feels rich, but because she stops waiting to feel ready. And time quietly starts doing something powerful in the background. Money begins to grow without her actively working for it every day. Not instantly, not visibly, but steadily. Years pass, and the differences that once felt small become obvious. One version of Hamna lives with constant financial pressure, even when life looks fine from the outside. Because there is no cushion between her and life. Every problem feels expensive. Every emergency feels heavy. Every month feels like starting over. The other version is different. Not because life became perfect, but because she built space between herself and stress. An emergency fund exists. Investments exist. Choices exist. She can say no to things she once had to accept. Not because she earns dramatically more, but because less of her money disappears unconsciously. And somewhere in both versions of her life, the truth becomes clear. It was never one big decision. It was thousands of small ones. The ones that felt too small to matter. The ones made at 11:47 p.m. The ones no one noticed, except her future self. Because financial freedom doesn't arrive suddenly. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't feel dramatic. Feels like small refusals. Small pauses. Small interruptions between emotion and impulse. And one night, the same moment returns again. 11:47 p.m. Same room. Same tiredness. Same phone glow. A $35 item appears on the screen. Hamna looks at it. Her finger hovers. The urge is still there. It never fully disappears. But this time something is different. She pauses. Just long enough for the feeling to pass through her instead of becoming action. And then she closes the app. No purchase. No reward. No noise. Just silence. But this silence doesn't feel empty anymore. Feels like control. Nothing dramatic changes that night. No celebration. No sudden transformation. No visible reward. Just one small decision that nobody else sees. But that decision doesn't stay small. It repeats. It stacks. It compounds. Because financial transformation doesn't begin with earning more money. It begins with refusing one unnecessary purchase. And months later, when Hamna looks back at her life, she realizes something simple but heavy. Her future was never built in big moments. It was built in quiet ones. At 11:47 p.m., when no one was watching, your life is not shaped by what you occasionally buy. It's shaped by what you repeatedly become.